Good morning, Lisa. I tried recording this once already, and I was babbling like you would not believe about the most insignificant stuff. So, I'm going to try this again. We'll see how it goes. Although, I do need more coffee eventually. There we go. Or at least some water, which is behind me. Ugh. Water. Not a lot left. But enough to wet my whistle. So I don't feel like I'm talking with cotton in my mouth. I hate that feeling. Oh, anyway. Good Sunday morning. It is Sunday, November 27th. Roderick's birthday was yesterday. We had a really good time. But I think I texted you about that. So Keith took him to Zap Zone. And they played in the arcade and did laser tag. And I think they did the indoor putt-putt golf, which is like black light neon stuff. Excuse me. So that's really amusing. Oh, darn it, I gotta blow my nose again. Sorry about that. I talk and the sinuses start to run. So anyway, they did that. Then, they came back home. Well, actually, in the very morning, Roderick opened all of his presents, and it was like Christmas morning deja vu, except it was birthday paper, not Christmas paper, on the presents. But oh my goodness, the mess. But he had a blast opening all of his presents. Got a lot of cash from a lot of people, too. So he's been saving up for like years for this big Transformer figure from Japan. It's like over $200 on Amazon. I'm like, oh my God. And he wants it badly. But it's really not a toy. It's more of a collector's item type thing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So anyway, what I am working on. And then we went to see Wakanda Forever. Sorry. And then we went to dinner at Red Robin, which I'm pretty sure it's a national chain. Burgers and steak fries and I eat the Whiskey River barbecue chicken wrap mostly when we go there. When we used to go there when I was a vegetarian, I got their vegetarian burger, their garden burger. But yeah, now that I eat meat again, I became very sensitive to dairy and soy. And I was not disciplined enough to be vegan. So I just went back to eating chicken and fish. And now and again, I'll have a steak if we're out and it's a steakhouse or someplace that does good steaks, but that's rare. We really don't even keep beef in the house. And I never eat pork. The only time I will have a little bit of pork is I'll have a little bit of bacon, or I'll have a little bit of ham, like in something, like a strata or a quiche. But I don't go out of my way for either one. And now with my, need to be lower salt, I tend to tell them to hold those things if they are a part of what I am eating. For instance, my eggs Benedict is English muffin, egg, and poached eggs and hollandaise sauce. And it's good that way. But anyway, I digress. So, and then we went to Red Robin, and then Micaiah joined us. And Micaiah was Roderick's ABA tech for 3 years, I want to say. And she finally took another job because she got her bachelor's in psychology. So she took another job as a behavioral counselor for adolescents and teens. I do not envy her job. She actually worked yesterday, so she met us after work, and she didn't get out of there on time. She was so apologetic because one of her kiddos, who's 16, had a panic attack, and so she had to, see. She was the last client for the day, so she had to see the 16-year-old through her panic attack before she could, let her go home with her mom. So yeah, that was that was interesting. But we had a really nice dinner at Red Robin, and then we came back here and we all kind of just collapsed onto various couches in various rooms of the house and just chilled. So that was nice. But I am working on the Day 25 holiday colorway from last year, the Winter's Shadows, I believe it is. I've looked once when I recorded this the first time before I started blathering too badly. Yeah, Winter's Shadows. So, and it's the bounce space on your Fiber Nymph Dyeworks bounce space. And so I am just, because I started with like the rust color on the very tip of the toe. So hold on, let me get a few more stitches and I can show you a little better. Okay, so let me turn it. Okay, so we've got trying to find the light here. Rust color on the bottom. There we go. I found the light. And now the gray. And then we're going into this like golden orangey yellow kind of color. That's just really pretty and harvesty, and the flames of the fire in the fireplace and all of that is what it's reminding me of. So I'm working on this and I'm doing it to I follow the one heel recipe that's the gusset, turn, and then flap. That does not require picking up any stitches along the sides of the flap, which is amazing. You just decrease the gusset stitches away while creating the flap. It's really cool. But it's a 1D Johnson toe-up socks for everybody. Her basic heel. And so I'm just going to do this in a 2x1 rib. I think I sent you the pictures and I told you what I was going to do for this. And so I've got it in the Bags by Awesome Granny bag. That I also happen to have the matching Notions pouch too. So I put together a little Notion pouch for this. And then the Bag by Awesome Granny bag with her key fob on here. I can't quite show you. Okay, so I'm working on this. Let me put that back in there. Zip this closed and put it back in there. And then I'm also working on that Wool and Honey shawl by Andrea Mowry. So I've been doing this on my ChowGoo size 9 needles, and they are just, which I usually love, but they are just so slippery with this Rowan Kid Classic fuzzy, furry, slippery yarn that I went ahead and I just bought myself because I don't have any wooden interchangeables, because I don't usually like to knit on wooden needles, but I went ahead and bought the Knitter's Pride size 9. I think they're the Dreams. This is a pretty green color. And then, so it contrasts enough so I can actually see what I'm doing with this like light periwinkle blue color. And am I showing you the front or the back? I was showing you the back. Let me flip it around here. There's the front. So I had gotten to, let me see, the odd number rows are the wrong side rows. So 2, 4, 6, and 8 are actually the front side pattern rows. And somewhere at the beginning of row 8, I had messed up, because you have to use, it's a 1x1 cable, either, you know, left or right. She calls it a C2B or a C2F. I don't know that I like how she does that. I prefer to see left and right myself, but you know, where you hold the needle back or front, especially if you're a beginner and you're trying to work on, you know, one of your first shawl projects. I can see why she would do it, but for me, I like left or right. But anyway, I had messed up near the beginning of row 8 by just knitting one of the stitches after I did a cable, the either the left or the right, I don't know which one, because it's, you know, every 2 stitches is one of those 1x1 cables. So it's a lot of cabling for just 1 stitch at a time. However, I can't really do my shortcut because that would twist it. So I'm just doing this. But anyway, so beginning of row 8, I messed up. Didn't realize it until I was almost done with row 2 of the next repeat. So I had to rip back almost all of 2, rip back row 1, and then rip back most of row 8. Yeah, it was interesting because this yarn is very fuzzy and it did not want to come apart when I was ripping it back. Plus, with everything crossed on the front side, figuring out which way to stick your needle in so that you can uncross them and then flip them back so that they're facing the right way. Yeah, that was fun. But I did it. I figured out where the problem was. As soon as I hit the problem, I knew where the problem was. And what... I can't believe I did that. But now it's fine. It's back on track. So I'm happy. So I'm like, you know, back on row 2 again or something. But anyway, so I am working on this and it's lovely and it's just going to be so snuggly when it's done. And this is the big full size shawl size one. I went to a yarn store this summer called Heritage Spinning and Weaving. And they are in Lake Orion, Michigan, which is a far, far, far north suburb. East of like Pontiac, Michigan. So the very far northern suburbs of Detroit. Excuse me, I have a fruit fly flying around here. Is where it is, and it's in a cute downtown area. And of course, the weekend we were there up there for something else in the area, and Heritage was, or not Heritage, downtown Lake Orion was having an art fair. So basically, Keith dropped me off at the corner right by the store, and he and Roger went and parked the car, and they just hung out in the car until I was done. But in their second chance area, because during the pandemic, they kind of started the second chance area and had like a Facebook marketplace shop. And I bought a few things from that. And when I went in there, they had, it was 8 balls or 9 balls of this Rowan Kid Classic. They're 50-gram balls. It's considered an Aran weight. And it's 140 meters, so approximately 150, what is that, 3 yards? Yeah, 153 yards per 50-gram ball. And it is 70%. See, I need the darn magnifying glass for this. This is horrible. It is so tiny. It is 76% lamb's wool, 26% kid mohair, and 4% nylon. So the mohair made it really fun ripping back. Luckily, I tanked back. I didn't rip back. So, because I knew it was going to be a pain. And I knew getting all the stitches back on the needle with this pattern, figuring out where I was going to be more of a pain than just tinking back the, 3 rows I needed to tink back. So, yeah, so I'm just about to start the second ball of this. And I'm using, it's an electronic counter that I've got that will do 2 sets of numbers. Trying to get it so you can see it. It'll do rows and sets, or it will just go over 100 rows up to 9,999 rows if you really want to go that far. If you want to just use it as a continual counter and not do the 2 sets. So right now I'm on set 6 and I just finished row 3. So I'll have 8 more sets to go after this because there's 14 repeats of the 8-row pattern, and that gets you something like 380 something stitches. But trying to do the cable crossings, because the 1x1 cable crossings with the real super slippery chow goos, it wasn't happening, even though I'm using I think it's a rosewood cable needle. Yeah, the one stitch was staying on the cable needle, but the other stitches were trying to, there we go. The other stitches were trying to escape from the chow red lace. Yeah. And then I had something else to show you. Where'd I put it? I am losing my mind these days, Lisa. Oh, down here on the floor. So, I finally finished the Absent Friends shawl. I haven't woven in the ends yet and haven't washed it and blocked it, but for my friend Paige, who had a cancer diagnosis, and they're still not sure if she's going to need chemo or not. So, that is the bottom. Here is the top. So this was a Knit Picks, one of their, and I still have it backwards, one of their cable collection patterns. And so it's done sideways with a lot of short row shaping to create this lovely kind of shape, and it really stays, let me back up a little bit. It really stays on the shoulders really well, really nicely. So let me see here. Oh, no. Flip. There we go. So the way the short row shaping is, it just comes together nicely and will actually, if I can get it positioned correctly, you can almost like shawl collar it. And then if you want to use a shawl, either pin or a stick, some sort of shawl clasp. It stays just so nicely even without it on its own. But if you want to close it up a little bit and get it a little cozier, like over your heart and torso, you can do that. But it's just, and if you drop, it's hard to do against this Hitafude cardigan I'm wearing, but if you kind of drop it down and pull it in, it lays nice. It stays, so she liked mine. The one I made myself was in a dark teal color. And so she loves lime greens and spring greens and things. So this is actually more lime green than it is showing up on the camera. But I have to weave in ends and wash it and block it, and it will be ready for the holidays. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me put this back in here. I had to get it out of the way because they were here for Thanksgiving. Excuse me, so I just stuck it in that box. Or that bag, I'm sorry, that the Rowan Kid Silk came out of. Okay, and then the other thing I'm working on, which I mentioned to you, this is Camelot Dye Works. They used to be up in Calumet, Michigan, which was the very, very, very southwestern part of the Upper Peninsula. It's actually closer to Wisconsin and Green Bay than it is to anything else in Michigan. But anyway, she was hand dyer, and for some reason she had a shop, and then they closed the shop, and she was just dyeing out of her home and selling stuff on Etsy out of her home. And then they decided to move to Iowa, I think it is. And I don't know if she's opening a physical shop or if she's just got the online shop. But I've got this in my Coconuts carrier, and I have the Coconuts maker board. So the pattern is called Rosebud Socks. And this is the second time I've done it. And it is in Taupe Socks for Everybody by Wendy D. Johnson. And my watch is trying to chime into the conversation. So here is the picture of the Rosebud Socks. And I already made another pair in a blue tonal. I can't remember if it's one of your tonal blues that I made it out of, or if it was a commercial dyed one, like from Knit Picks or something. But anyway, they're really pretty. They fit my feet really well at the 66 stitch size. And then the heel I use is just, like I said, her gusset flap. It's in her other book, her first book. This is the second book. I'm just trying to remember what she calls that heel. And I'm getting all these tips for reading and knitting a swatch, and now it's the sock patterns. And it doesn't just have, oh, maybe it does here in the back, where it has just the heel instructions separate. I have the heel instructions separate somewhere in here that I have copied and then written all my notes on and different people's sock size. Here it is. Here it is. Different people's sock sizes and measurements. Basic socks. It doesn't actually say on this page what the heel is called. But as you can see, I have marked it all up. And yeah, it's just I've got it folded down to a size that I can work with. Yeah, here's my other copy of it. This one, I had a sticky note to it when I copied it. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't take sticky note off. But yeah, it's just her basic sock heel. And like I said, it's you make the gusset and then you do the little heel turn cup and then you do the flap. So anyway, I'm this far on it. Just to have the one done. And like I said, this is the Camelot Dye Works Percival sock, which is her version of Bounce, except it's just a little lighter weight fingering than Bounce's. Just a hair. So yeah, it's not quite as round and bouncy as your Bounce bases, but it was in a I think just a dove gray color is what she called it. So yeah, I am very pleased with how those are turning out. I haven't worked on them all that much lately, so I need to do that. And I'm trying to get one of my Anywhere bombs by was it Love and Leche open, and I can't do it, so let me just grab lotion bar, because that I know I can get open. Oh, and this lotion bar is now very, very tiny compared to what it used to be, but I need a little bit on my cheek here. For some reason I've been scratching it and it's just very dry. My skin is just horribly dry. Okay, there we go. So this proves you can use their stuff anywhere. I find it a little bit greasy though when I'm actually knitting. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Roderick's birthday yesterday was fun, like I said. Wakanda Forever was fantastic. We are huge Marvel fan. Well, Roderick and I are huge Marvel fans. Keith is actually a DC Comics fan. But he likes the Marvel stuff too. He's kind of gotten over his, DC is better than Marvel snobbery. I have not gotten over my Marvel is better than DC snobbery. But anyway, so yeah, we saw Wakanda Forever and it was just wow. Oh my God, they handled everything so well. I'm going to tilt this up just a hair. I was just impressed by how well everything was handled. Having lost Chadwick Boseman. So yeah, at the beginning, where they always do the different Marvel superheroes, in the montage at the beginning, it was just Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther for the whole montage. It was great. And then Roderick was so cute. Whenever they do Wakanda Forever, he would immediately, it was so adorable. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Go see it if you get a chance, especially if you enjoy the Marvel universe. I mean, this one stands completely alone from any of the other Marvel movies. There really is no crossover. It's pretty amazing. It really is. Very enjoyable. Beautifully done. Special effects are amazing. The cinematography, just gorgeous. Um, wow. Yeah, really cool. So, oh, now this side is itching. Uh, which just goes to show you I have not moisturized my face this morning because I have not used my, I have these witch hazel wipes. A couple different brands. One of the brands I use is Burt's Bees. They have a witch hazel face wipe that's all natural. And the other one, I think the brand is like Dickinson's or something like that. I haven't been able to find it again at the Meijer, the grocery store we go to. It's where Walmart got their idea of carrying groceries and everything else. Meijer has been doing that since the late 60s, early 70s here in Michigan. They're based in Grand Rapids. So that's where Walmart got that idea. But Meijer's Thrifty Acres, as they used to be called, were the original. And they're all over Michigan. And then now they've expanded throughout the Midwest. So down in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, I think maybe even down into Kentucky now. So maybe eventually you'll get them over in the Pittsburgh area. But yeah, they've got a good selection of natural grooming products, face care, body lotion and shampoos and body wash, shower gel stuff. A really good selection of all natural products. So yeah, but they haven't had the Dickinson's again, so I'll have to check Amazon. And here we are at 32 minutes already, and I've blathered on again. Please forgive the blathering. And my glasses also keep falling down my nose. Ooh, excuse me. And my back is bothering me. So I will say goodbye for now so that I can get this processed and up on YouTube and send you a link. Okay. You have a fabulous day, a fabulous week. As you can see behind me now, the sun is up. It was just coming up when we started. It was dark the first time I did this. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Hope you get a chance to watch it. And I'll be chatting with you soon. Take care, Lisa. Bye.